You say it's your birthday.
It's my birthday too.
Yeah, we're back. Welcome to the Shelz and Cheez podcast live show, everybody. We have been away for a moment, and I know you missed us. And please do not sit there like you didn't. We'd like to hear a round of applause. Thank you. Thank you so much. It makes me feel special to know that you guys missed us. Thank you. Can we get it again? Great. Yeah, because you got to give applause for both of us separately, okay? So we are here, all right? Like we never left. It's been a lot going on. Everybody knows it. We're not here to talk about that because that's not our show. You know, it's not what we do. So I am your hostess, Kay Renee. And I'm here along riding this train with the cupcake, Amanda A. She's serving. She's giving what needs to be given. She's giving face, darling. She's giving stones. She's giving crystals. She's giving labradorite. She's got it. She's styling on a new moon. If you guys don't know, it's new moon time. Okay? So you'll still be able to see it. You know, it's out there tonight. But I just need you to do me a favor, because if you guys are here with us, you already know. And I'm not ever here to beg and, you know, be like, please give me some change. But I just need you to make sure that you subscribe. Go down to the bottom, hit the bell, be notified when we drop this awesome content. Okay? Please. Thank you. I appreciate it. And for those of you who do not hear well, if you look off to my assistant here of the co-hostess, Cupcake, she's giving you what needs to be given so that you can hit the button at the bottom and you subscribe. And it goes ding, ding. So, man, it's been a great week, but it depends on how you look at everything. But
Okay.
As she snorts us in with a snorty. Yeah. I mean, I was being funny. It's been a weird week, man. It's been weird, wild shit going on every day. But we thought we would come back and be able to, give you some good feel good, nostalgia, energy, and bring you something maybe that it's something maybe all the way not down at the bottom of our, magic bag. And hopefully for you, it's somewhere in the middle or close to the top. But we definitely wanted to bring and celebrate some comedy from 1984. Can you? 16 Candles.
Woo!
16 Candles. We're doing 16 Candles tonight. We got Molly Ringwald. Of course, we have Anthony Michael Hall. And you know what's interesting? They didn't even put the guy who, of course, plays Jake Ryan. They didn't even put his name on the box. They were like, we don't know him right now.
I feel like his name's too many letters.
Yeah. Well, he can stay on the cover because, it's all within the triangle of the three, technically, with other characters along the way. But I chose this one because it is an old school comedy. And we were talking, as before we came to do this show, and just talking about the fact from in the 80s when it came out, again, like I said, 1984, which I was 5.
And
but of course I didn't see it.
But that's not when we saw it.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
We saw it later.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. On VHS and also on TV, right? And the fun thing about watching shit on TV is it would be edited for TV. So sometimes you would watch it on video and be like, I didn't know that's what they were really saying.
That was the word. That was the word. That's what they were talking. Oh, that was the bleep bleep. Okay, so and then of course when they would, you know, interchange the words for like the good version, they had like really not a whole bunch to kind of go off of, you know, on the list of what can we use as a filler right here. Because, you know, over time, language has evolved as well. So it's kind of like other things you can use in the midst of some of the terminology or the words that were in the movie. But yeah, that was like, yeah, it was funny. So it was kind of definitely the treat when you saw it on the VHS. Or, you know, in our case, when we used to go and visit the dollar movies and then see things that, you know, were in the mainstream theater, and then before they really let it go, they put it in the dollar movie, you know, where you sneak your popcorn in and everything else in a bag, because we did that well. With the very well. We did.
My mom was like the lord of it. She's like, we're getting like our duffel bags and shit.
Yeah, man. And we would movie hop also to go from one to another, especially depending on what time we got started with, like, you know, the movies. And if we went early, man, we could get at least 2 of them in.
Yeah, we typically did 2 to sometimes 3 for sure.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. And you know, I just want
thing of like, watch the second half, and next time we'll come back and catch the first half.
Yeah. Oh, it already started. And then to find a seat, you know, like just in the midst as everybody else was situated, man, that's when it was worth movies like to go, because you had to get there at a decent time to find the good seats. Now, when you go to the movies, you're already pre-selecting your seat. So you get to see inside within like the seats that are available. And you can be like, okay, I'm going to sit up there at the top, or, you know, whatever. But yeah, man, sometimes now movies aren't even worth it. It's just like, I'll wait. I'll wait until it comes out on VHS. I mean, VHS. Oh, until it comes out on a streaming.
That's me.
Yeah. I'll just wait till it comes out on streaming. Yeah. So let's take a journey down 16 Candles. And I chose some of the pictures that I thought was kind of like highlights and stuck out a little bit. You know, I'm not going to take you through like the whole film strip. But
we've all seen it. We've all seen it. We all know.
Yeah, we all know. We all know. And again,
and
I just want to
let shame on you.
Yeah, and maybe after you watch our show, you should go and pull it up and see it on a streaming app. Tubi, anybody. And I'm not promoting because they don't pay me, but I'm just saying you can find it anywhere. And if you're not a sports person, I just want to let you know it's March Madness, and so basketball's on television all freaking day, and I don't appreciate that. So I'm now having to find stuff that I can catch up on.
Yeah.
And get into shows I haven't started because now I have some time. So I'm here for it. So other than that, let's take a look. This sibling relationship I thought was very interesting. As far as when it comes to these two, they were night and day. Not to mention Mike, the little brother, and of course the little sister, but this airhead right here just spaced out the whole time. And it's not, and even before she gets to her wedding day, but this is all beforehand. And, you know, Sam's looking at her like, what the fuck are you talking about? And she's looking at her like, you don't understand after all these years? No, man. No.
I think
knows.
parents might have been drinking a little while that one was in the womb. Like,
I concur. I think so, because she was, what happens? What seems to be the problem, Sam? it was just very like very low key. Like she had to rely on her beauty or something for anybody to even just want her. And back then, we're talking this is 84, she was hot. You know,
Mm.
she was the hottie. You know, that was the style, you know, of who that look, you know, the blonde hair, the kind of wave, you know, effect. That was like the all American type of look, type of girl, except for Molly, because we know John was using Molly for just about every project he could put Molly in. And I like the fact, honestly, that he tried to really give a redhead the scene as opposed to your typical blonde that was always like that main attraction from a lot of teen movies. You know what I mean?
It's almost like giving Peanuts, how like Charlie Brown like is in love with the little redheaded girl, you know?
Yeah, right. Exactly. But
Like he's
but
trying
not
to
Peppermint
redefine who the girl next door is. He's like, the girl next door doesn't have to be a blonde or a brunette. Like,
Exactly. She can have a different class and style and look to her and still be that girl next door. Which again, yes, yeah. So for this one, like I said, it took me through because of the fact it did remind me a little bits and pieces and parts of like, you know, middle school, high school and stuff like that. More so for just the way that the style was, and being that I have an older sister, it was also a little different as well. Um, let's take a look at the situation of the difference between well, actually, I don't want to get to the grandparents at the moment. Let's talk about her friend. These two were like, of course, peas in a pod. They were best friends. You could tell it. And the fact that it was like neither one of them actually had a license because they're still on the bus and having to deal with all these different personalities. And I chose this one because the top picture is just showing the disgust, and behind them you can see all like the nerds and the band players, and then below it's just like up front and center, like this is literally the depiction of nerds, geeks, you know, jock straps on their head, radar battery operated guns that are being played with on the bus. Like, what the hell? It just made them probably feel even more like a push. We got to get our license. We got to get off this fucking bus. Let alone for anybody back then that had cars, you knew that in that era, they were rich. They were classified to be rich, wealthy, to be able to have something to drive to school in, you know, of course.
this is so classic. It really does capture that humiliation of having
Mm-hmm.
to ride the fucking bus. Like, I remember it very, very vividly. And
And
I'm just like, how stoked we were whenever we were close enough to walk to school. We so would. You and I were walk to schools. Like in junior high, we would walk to school together
yep,
because the bus was just the most horrible thing.
it was. The school bus and even sometimes the city transit bus. Like we
Oh
would
yeah.
be more on the walk and adventure more than anything, you know, because in our mind it was always like, well, it's really not that far, you know, like we can do it, we can make it. It's you know, we'll walk and talk and have a good time. And it was like, yeah, because you know the blocks, of course, growing up in Washington, they're not quick short blocks. You know, you're like going up there. You know, like oh, that's a half mile. You know what I mean? But definitely yes, the humiliation being as far as the disgust, and of course for anybody that hasn't seen it, let's just backdrop real quick. So the situation is Sam, she turned 16, whole fucking family forgets about it because they're all wrapped up in who, this chick, her blondie sister that's on whatever the fuck she's on, and then again, they're all in her wedding and wrapped up because all of her stuff is important. So they completely missed their daughter's birthday. And so it was like hell on wheels from the beginning of the day of how it started. And so now let's just add more salt to the wound. So then now, as we're home And she's like, yeah, nobody still said shit, but I'm gonna tell them I gotta go to this dance. But not until, again, we gotta get up with the grandparents. The grandparents are in town. So now this is shifting everything crazy in the house because of the fact of the wedding that's coming up. And I wanted to get this screen here of the split of the two different types of grandparents for the family. Like the mom side was definitely the green shirt granny, right? With the one with the plaid.
No, it's the mom side is the bougie people, and
Is
the
it
dad's
really?
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. And you
Yeah.
know what?
Yeah.
I can now tell more looking at mom's face, the blonde.
Yeah.
That is definitely mom.
Yeah, and the down to earth people are the dad. Like they want you to know that the mom is like he married up. Like the mom is like, you know, a I don't know
She's
how to
very,
put it.
she's very classic old school.
Yeah, the
Very
mom's
old
like
fashioned.
the money and class, and the dad comes from just like a regular people, you know?
Yeah, exactly. So that's mom's side. Dad's parents, they seem goofy like dad.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you can tell where the goofiness comes from, from grandpa, and then, you know,
They're just
grandma.
like more portly. They're kind of less attractive. They're just like more regular.
Yeah, like very old fashioned, like your typical, if you were to have someone paint you a picture of grandparents in that era, that's what you would get.
And yet
Down to the
the other one wants to feel her up. She's like feeling her boobies.
Yeah, exactly. She was like, oh, and they're perky. Yeah. And the granddad looks like one of them people that hung out with you know who in the crew that's in trouble now. He looks like one of those people. Like he's been involved on one of those island parties. Doesn't he look like one of those island party people?
Yeah, he's in one of those those orgy island parties.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, them eyes, those Google eyes, they look crazy, man. He's been some places. So yeah, so anyway, going on down the hole, they're there and they bring a guest, which we'll get to him in a moment. But again, she's like, I gotta get the hell out of here. Nobody remembers my birthday. Now I gotta share a room with my brother because the grandparents are here. And it was so funny because back then, when looking at the time frame of the 80s with the secondary lines in the rooms, I always used to think that was so like early 90s, like who had a second line in their home, where she had her own phone line in her room, which I thought that was also giving a little bit of money. But then it was like a typical thing growing up, like in the 90s, where became a teen. And then some of friends I knew, they had their own phone number and line in their room. I was like, really?
Spoiled kids. And they
Yeah,
weren't always they were always spoiled. Like some families would buy their kids things that they could not afford because the kids were just
exactly.
and John Hughes movies are always about the rich kids, like with the exception of Pretty in Pink, they made Raleigh Ringwald, like the poor kid, which I could relate to more. That's the movie I relate to most. But yeah, it's really about upper middle class, richer kids.
Yes. And I did forget, out of all geeks of geeks, the main one who really actually sets it even off, it makes it worse for her. It's here we are.
Farmstead.
Yeah, man. And he was the king of the geeks, correct? He was like the coolest one out of all of them, all of his geek friends and everybody. And it was like he was more of the popular geek. But yeah, on the fact of them not remembering her birthday, this guy now being in her face, trying to pick her up, which she's not even for it. And she's just like, please leave me alone. Please. And it's just like he continues to be more of a nuisance as the movie keeps going on. So, with that being said, moving away from him, then the grandparents are in the house as she gets home from school, like already lost the note because of her secret crush, which again is who she wants to pretty much, do it with. But the note didn't get passed back to the right person. And so people like this guy, he's picking it up and now he's plotting, because he has the note. So now he's all trying to figure out who she is, didn't know that she really even existed. But now it's like, oh, I got somebody else on my cue card. Look at that lip bite. Look at that. They wanted to make sure they definitely gave him.
Can we just take a moment and talk about this guy? Because I was watching it this time and I'm like, hold on. How old is this guy? You know what I mean? I'm like, because I feel sorry for boys our age looking at this guy and comparing themselves to him, thinking he's like in high school. There's no way this guy's in high school. I looked him up. Do you want to guess how old this guy was during filming?
How old was he?
Just guess. What do you think?
I'm going to say, oh, Jesus. Oh, 25?
23.
What?
Yeah, and Molly was 15. So, I don't know. Just saying. There was just always fucking with our heads in the 80s, like with all these actors that weren't really teenagers. So the only ones, it was Molly and Anthony Michael Hall were 15, but everybody else was old.
What the hell?
I'm sorry to break the spell for a second. I was just like, this guy does not look like he's in fucking high school.
No, man, his body, everything about him, even the way of his swagger gave like he was more than a senior. And the girlfriend, what was her name? Celeste or
Caroline.
Caroline. Who the fuck is Celeste? Okay. Wrong movie.
That girl was 24.
Yeah, I could see that. I could see that. That makes sense.
Yeah.
And what else it makes sense is why they also didn't do a lot of sex scenes and things in the nature for these types of movies, knowing the age bracket they were playing with for these actors and actresses.
Well, but also John Hughes it was very important to him to keep it at like a PG rating.
Oh, yeah.
He was able to keep PG-13 ratings usually. Or he was trying to keep it so that teenagers could still watch it. So yeah, he had to ride that line.
Yeah. And that was a line to ride, especially because of the fact that as we now have more resources to do quick research with stuff like this, which we didn't have the internet and all of that back then, and it wasn't definitely going to be in nobody's encyclopedia about those 16 candles. You're like, what? So now today it's like, dun, dun, dun. Like the black cloud is like, everybody was a pervert. Like, whoa.
Well, and luckily this guy is obviously a nice guy, so it's fine.
Yeah.
But like,
of course. Yeah, definitely.
Nice. Yeah.
Right. So she's like, yeah, so I'm going to go to the dance and everything like that. When she gets to the dance. And it gets worse, man. It gets worse. She's wearing her little frilly pink, her little rouge, her blush and everything. The guy that her friend is talking to, it's just so funny.
He's like out of a 50s greaser movie.
Yeah. And you remember how he was dancing? He was somebody in the background of Grease. Like he was really getting these moves in. And look,
yeah,
he's still trying to sell her off on everything. And she's just like, I don't even know which way to go. I thought if I come to the dance, I could get a break away from the old folks and the wedding shit and the forgetting my birthday. And then I can't get away from him. It was the embarrassment he did for her when he got out on that dance floor and she
Oh,
wasn't even moving.
the
Like, what is,
humiliation. And doesn't
yeah,
that just bring you back when they show it on the bleachers? You're like, that's the whole setting right there. It just shows this nasty, dirty, kind of stupid setting they have you in. They think that because they dim the lights, it's a magical dance. It's like, it's the fucking gym. Like,
right, right, of course. And then again, he has his homies, because now he's trying to place bets, and they're like, "What are you talking about?" And he's like, "Yeah, I'm telling you, I'm gonna sleep with her. I'm gonna do everything. I'm gonna get her number and stuff." And they are hilarious to me. Who was that? John Cusack, right?
yes, don't these so remind you of Brett and Bryson?
Yes, they freaking do.
Oh, God.
Especially for the fact of not even just Brett and Bryson, but that Beavis Butthead kind of
Oh,
feel.
yes. Yes.
Definitely, it's giving me that. And the taller one, I can't think of like what his name really is, but
It
he
doesn't matter.
seems. Who was that?
I said it doesn't matter.
Oh, I thought you said something Banneker. I was like, really? Who's that? What else was he in? But yeah, he's looking like he was the smartest one though, like tech savvy. And they're wearing this shit to the dance. Look at the headset. And then he has that shit on top of his head. This is how you went to the dance?
And when they showed the whole lineup, when they first start the scene, one of the kids is like, he's totally like this, and he's like playing on a calculator, like it's a smartphone. He's like, I'm like, what's he doing? Writing boobs on it or something? What's so entertaining?
Well, what about the kid that didn't want to go to the dance and he was like, I want to come home with you guys?
You're gonna damn well go to the dance, and they like leave him there.
And they closed the door, and I'm like, you will not come the hell home right now. And then he went crazy. Remember, he was in there like, woo, 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 woo. And he was like running around with making all these noises. Like he just zipped off and went nuts, man. Like, you sure you don't want to be at the dance? Yeah, he was funny. So, and
Apparently,
he,
to the date night. Apparently,
obviously, and that was a date night. He could not come home. They were like, we will pick you up when this dance is over. Do not attempt to walk home. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. We're going to come back and get you, but you're going to stay your ass in here. They really
and make
made
a
sure of it.
friend while you're at it, dork. That's a
Yeah, man. Can we just take a moment of silence for your girl who struggled so fucking much in this movie, man?
We're not worthy. Joan Cusack. She's such a scene stealer. Like she's so amazing. I love her so much. She's
The amount and the effort she went into just trying to get a goddamn drink of water, man. It's step by step by step. She went from one goddamn water fountain, these two, and then she's like, no, I'm going to go to one that's shorter because that's more my speed. That was too much water that came out. But as long as she had that doily dress shit that she could pop up and wipe her fucking mouth from the water fountain.
Where did they find this shirt? Did they make it, or did they find it at a thrift store and it wrote the whole scene all on its own when they found it? Like, what? I need the story.
Wait, and then it got worse, right? Because when she went to the party, Jesus Christ.
It's so fucked up.
Man, but the brace is even more fucked up. The brace contraption that she's in. Dude, it's like she took part of a roller coaster seat off and is walking around with it on her back. It's terrible.
I miss that. That's something I miss about 80s movies is when they're just making fun of everything and it wasn't as PC. It's like I understand why things have to be PC and why we're not want to hurt people and stuff like this. But this is funny shit, you know? And
It
that's
is
the
funny.
that's funny
Even
shit.
funnier, the unexpected house guest that came with the grandparents. Long duck dong.
Oh, okay, back to the age thing. How old is this guy, Kelly?
Oh my gosh. Please don't tell me he's 29 or 30.
So he was 28 when they filmed. He was the
What?
oldest. Yeah, he was the oldest. And I'm just like, so their agent's like, yeah, we got this like part to play a 17. Like, what?
I think you'll be real good at this because you're not aging. And I think you could go as a. How old was he ever supposed to be? Did they ever say how old he was, though?
Well, I mean, he's supposed to be a high school exchange student, so no
Yeah,
older than
right. Yeah.
probably close to Sam's age. He's probably supposed to be 15 or 16, but I don't know. I don't know.
He was on display when he got there from the dinner table with the quiche. He didn't even understand, like, what is this pie? They said it's quiche. He said, what did he say? What did he tell him? It doesn't matter what's
He
in
said,
it. You eat it.
how do you spell it? And
Yeah,
they
how
go,
do
you
you
don't spell it, son, you eat it. Because he's trying to understand what is this word. Like, you know, if I know how it's spelled, maybe I'll understand it better. And they're like, who cares? Like,
Oh, God. Again, Epstein Island boy being a smart ass, man. You don't smell it, son. You ate it. It's like, wow, okay, dude, whatever. So, yeah, man. So, Jake pulls up old geek boy. And he's like, yeah, I know her, he has this whole party and everything like that. And he's just sick of his goddamn girlfriend. But he's so smitten to go and find Sam. Like, he needs to find her, and it's all within the adventure. Everybody's having an adventure throughout the whole night to the point where Jake and, God, what's his name?
Farmer Ted?
Farmer Ted, yes. They become like cool enough to where he's like, all right, I'm gonna clean up the house. You take my girlfriend. She already had her hair cut up in the door. Like it was just a hot mess. And it always made me think, like, did he really clean everything up in time before his parents ever got home? Like, did it actually?
Supposedly, yeah. I mean, hard to believe though, because they obviously a bunch of shit's broken. Like the record player has pizza grease all up on it, for one thing.
Yeah, and good thing he sat down, because if he wouldn't have found Farmer Ted underneath that damn table, suffocating almost to death. And the glass. And he's in there making him margaritas and shit. Like, how do you know how to do this shit, man?
I don't know. Maybe he was like watching movies, watching Cocktail with Tom Cruise. I don't know.
Yeah, dude. Exactly. So, because, back in the day, like if you had a crush and you knew somebody that could pretty much link you up with your crush, she was so happy she gave her panties up to that Farmer Ted, so that he could, pass the phone number around or something to Jake, which he called, and the grandparents were not happy about that. That was hilarious.
Before the internet, shit got real. I mean, you didn't have the internet to put the panties on the internet, so you gotta have a sniffing line in the bathroom.
Yeah, exactly. And that was the highlight in that bathroom. So yeah, moving on, her night's ruined, her birthday's over. Everybody wants to come to their fucking senses at the middle of the night. Dad, popping up on her at the couch like, I am so sorry. I mean, honestly, I don't think I would have been that cool about it.
Exactly.
I know me. I would.
I think she's just like, I'm just tired.
Yeah, I just want to go to sleep on this couch because I have no room to sleep in. I don't even see you coming down here with your sorry with a gift in your hand. How sorry are you? Yeah, I would have been irritated, honestly. I think I still would have been holding a grudge the next day and the next week. They would have had to have brought me a car.
Yeah,
I'm
he
sorry.
didn't write a little IOU on a piece of paper or nothing.
No, nothing. And then they were having a talk where they still redirected it around to her sister in this wedding that she's gonna basically be doing the next day. So yeah,
Okay.
moving.
Side note, not to burst the whole bubble, but side note, did it never come up that Sam's birthday was the day before the wedding when they planned this shit? Like,
Exactly.
what hole in the story? Swiss cheese, you know?
But all good. Because when you really think about it now, you really, a person today would have sliced and diced that all the way up and told them, we're not greenlighting this until you actually make it make more sense.
Because,
And we don't know if we would have gotten 16 candles.
They would at least know. Like, she would at least know ahead of time, like, oh, my birthday's the day before. Whatever.
Right. So the aftermath effect from the crazy wild night to the point where it's the wedding day, and this is how it all ends up. This guy.
Look at this dumbass.
Her hair. Trying to piece all this shit. It's a Rolls Royce with several cans of beer. And he managed to still have his headgear? Where was that? At the dance.
He's a very disciplined boy.
Not only the fact that he's knocked out like he's in a whole bed sleep, but she's trying to piece shit together with the fact that she has a whole piece of her hair in her hand, in a rubber band, mind you, and in a car with the geekiest geek out of all geeks in the goddamn school.
Where was he even keeping this headgear? Like in his pocket?
That's what I'm saying.
Like strapped to his leg, like a knife on his, concealed weapon. Like,
or was he supposed to be sleeping over at the other Tweedledee Tweedledum's house?
Probably.
And his bag may have been there, but still, like, and you thought while you get back after they come out and take these pictures of you with this hottie in the car, oh yeah, give me my headgear out my bag, just in case I don't make it back. Like, really? She was funny though. We're both on the pill. And then she's like, hey, wake up, man, because I don't know what the fuck happened. And what are they? Like, what parking lot? Are they at a church?
Yeah, they're at the church parking lot because
yeah, that's right.
When Jake comes by later to look for Samantha, that's why he runs into them. Is he's like, wait,
that's right. Yeah.
So for the first time this time, I fully realized that Farmer Ted lost his virginity in a church parking lot.
Yes, he did.
Yeah. So wow. He's probably officially a pedophile for that, but
yeah.
Jesus,
good thing nobody was there at that time because they could have gotten arrested. The worst case scenario is them waking up like they did, which was with the empty beer cans and the top down off of a Rolls Royce. And did somebody spray paint it? Or did they ride through some shit? Because that Rolls Royce was dirty. Like in the front, like some white specky or dust was on it. Like he didn't roll out with it looking like that. It was messed up. Well, before everybody else gets to the church, to the wedding, they got a surprise in the fucking yard. He's just had a night.
Is he wearing a dress? Is that what's going on?
No, remember he had like that kimono or something on? Because he like fell out of look at his hair was pulled up. Yeah. He looks like he's been through it.
And apparently that girl he was dancing with beat him up. That's the story.
No, the car accident.
Yeah.
He crashed the car. Because remember, Grandpa was like, "Where's my automobile?"
Yeah. But he tells the story. He's like, he thinks somebody punched him. I don't know if anybody did or not, but that's what he
thinks. Somebody beat me up. Yeah.
Yeah. Like my new style American girlfriend.
He fell out the fucking tree, man. He fell out the tree. And the fact that the whole car is gone, but they still let him come in the house to like get an ice pack. Like they're like, we're gonna leave you here. We're going to the wedding without you. You crashed Grandpa's automobile. You don't even know where it is. Oh no, it went in the water.
Big lake. Big lake. Why'd they give him the car anyway? Whatever.
To drive Samantha to the dance.
No, I know, but why did you just drive him? You know, like why would you give the exchange car?
Why would you trust a high school exchange student?
Yeah.
That doesn't even know where the hell he's even at.
Yeah.
And I guess they were like, well, she can just direct him. And the school's not far because it was probably her dad's idea because it was his parents' car. Yeah. So, the goofies. And they were like, yeah, that's cool. It's only like a few blocks. They're going to come back together. Sam will babysit him and make sure that everything is okay. They dropped Sam off all right. And that dude rolled out to the after party where everybody was at. On the exercise bike, as his girlfriend is dropping weights through the damn ceiling onto the floor. The whole night was wrecked, man. So anyway, moving forward, we get to the wedding, we get to the church, and she's smacked, man. She's smacked. She don't even know it's her wedding. She don't know what her name is. She's just like, what? And then the lady from, what's that, Poltergeist? Oh, yeah, that lady that still scares me to this day.
That little creepy lady.
Oh man, she took 4 muscle relaxers.
Yeah, yes. She 4 muscle relaxers for her menstrual cramps, and here's where we're at now. They can't even put shoes on her now.
Oh man, can't put shoes on her. She doesn't like the veil. That was messed up. Her pictures at the end, she was spitting rice out of her mouth when they were throwing the rice and stuff. She was a hot mess. She got in the car, put the limo driver's hat on. I can only imagine the reception. And why was Sam not going to the reception? Like, out of all things, you should go get a piece of cake, bitch. It's your birthday still. You might as well celebrate.
I think she felt like they weren't even going to notice.
Yeah.
And sister, it's perfect because with this sister that this is definitely going to be her first husband. So she'll do better every time. She'll get a little better at the wedding.
She'll have 3 weddings under her belt.
Yeah, by the last one, she'll be postmenopausal, so she won't have this problem again.
So dude's been tracking her, trying to call her, chased her down at the goddamn going church, and he's like, hey, because I waved to you the last time where I said hi when we were getting coats, and then you act like you didn't know how to speak English, and then you didn't say shit, and you left out the coat room. Now I'm being a creep, pulling up at your sister's wedding. Just
what's so funny is that this outfit looks like a nerd outfit, basically, doesn't it? Like there's nothing like cool about this outfit other than there's a 23-year-old guy, good-looking man wearing it. That's all. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, but still, like, Man, I think this was the only first and last movie we saw that guy in because this guy is off the grid. It was
Oh, he was
he,
mermaids. Mermaids. That's pretty much it.
that's right. He was in Mermaids, and that's it. And how old was Winona Ryder in that shit?
Yeah.
He was like, no more robbing the cradle movies for me. I can't work with these kid
Yeah,
actors.
exactly. It was, he played basically the same character.
Yes. Yeah. So
That's
anyway,
okay.
it's the
Yeah.
meetup of all meetups. And she's like, hey, I feel like I'm getting married. And he's like, you kind of look like you are. But I just wanted to kind of say, hey, and can you change or something? This is like too formal for me right here. Like, she's like, okay, like, I guess, but this is what it is. And he's looking at her like, yeah, you're not that bad looking. You actually are pretty cute. And then here we are. And then there they go. It's like a happy ending. And then he finds this big ass birthday cake out of nowhere that sits up on top of his table with her sitting on the table. And he's sitting on top of the table, crisscross applesauce with this big cake. Like, who made that cake today? Like, you guys just picked that up from
they stopped at the QFC on the way home or some shit. Like, I guess.
That cake was huge. Like, she stole it from her sister's wedding. That's how big that cake was. For
They
16.
just took top off.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe.
Wow. But it's still a good movie. I still enjoy watching it. It's still
one of the romantic endings of for our age group,
Yes.
It was very, very romantic. It very like fed into like the female fantasy of I have this crush and he doesn't know who I am, only in this movie he does. And he does like the adoration, If he doesn't find it annoying, he doesn't make fun of her. It's not traumatizing, it's just very sweet.
Yeah. And I like that also, as you said, within playing onto the fantasy of a little girl or young girls or tweens. And, it was just, didn't really need much of nothing, of what you looked for in some type of boyfriend, girlfriend, back then growing up is like, of course, that they drove when you were older, like a teenager. And he was like, that was a highlight. But other than that, it was just like the chemistry of just being able to be together, and I think that was just the overall thing of it, as opposed to today where everybody has to come with papers and backgrounds and resumes and your health papers and you're like, doing a lie detector test, like just to go out on a date. So it's different now, especially when you're older versus, I don't know what it's like for the kids in school. They probably don't like anybody because they don't like themselves as teens. So they're all like doing their own mental disconnections and stuff. But yeah, I like the movies John Hughes puts out there. They are good go-tos, fallbacks, and just to kind of give you like that feel good, of when things used to be simple, as the movie I think displays. And no one was so hypersensitive and you could just laugh, slapstick kind of comedy in a sense, and you knew you were gonna enjoy the movie from the beginning to the end.
Yeah, it was all pretty innocent and it wasn't like none of it was mean spirited really. Like some of it in retrospect it can be offensive, but none of it was like in the spirit of being like mean.
Right, exactly. Right. It was wholesome, it was feel good, and not even just for that one, but even for the others. Pretty in Pink, The Breakfast Club, it's just it goes on and on. St. Elmo's Fire, kind of finding the theme of where he used to like to have his storylines. But like I said, they're classic.
I'm not sure about St. Elmo's Fire.
That's not him?
What made this one special in Breakfast Club is that he wrote and directed them. A lot of them, when I was researching, I was surprised to find he only directed like 7 or 8 or 9 of them. Like
really?
he wrote like 53 movies.
Mm.
So there's a bunch of them, like Pretty in Pink. He did not direct, but he wrote it, so it still has that flavor. Or
Oh, wow. Okay.
like the Home Alone movies. Like he wrote those, but he didn't direct them. So I don't know. He didn't really direct that many, and the ones he did direct, I think, are a little more special.
Yeah, because it's him through and through for it,
Yeah.
writing and the directing. So, oh wow, I didn't know that. And I
I'm
guess that's just because
I'm not sure about saying Almost Fire. I'm not saying you're wrong. I just don't remember.
I mean, right. And I mean, I could just be making it up because I just want to put him with it.
Oh, because it's Brat Pack. Like it's
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, just another one to kind of look at. And like I said, what'd you say?
I was just saying you're probably right. I don't know. Go.
I mean, I might not be, I'm just putting them in the mix because I just want to put him with everything else. But I just know within his collection of what he has his name on are always going to give you a good feel, just because of his talent on how he writes. And I appreciate that. And so, like I said, when it's nothing I really want to look at that's new, this is one of those collections I'll go into and find something, and it changes my vibe and my mood, like just like that, because it makes me bring myself back to my own nostalgia and being like, oh yeah, man, I had a busted knee when this movie came out. I was riding my bike, like I remember that.
It has really cute music. There's a lot of good music throughout.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Heck yeah. Definitely. The soundtrack's awesome.
And
Definitely.
the way he discovered Anthony Michael Hall and just the genius of bringing him to us, this iconic 80s actor who we still love.
Spill that tea, honey. Let the people know, because you spilled it on me and I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah, just about how they're, you always find out about the different actors that tried out for different roles. And for this one, I forget the whole list, but there was a whole slew of actors we know today who tried out for this role of Farmer Ted.
Mm-hmm.
Ralph Macchio was one of them,
Mm-hmm.
and Jim Carrey.
Wow.
I don't remember others. But John Hughes said that they all came with this kind of stereotypical audition where they wore the really thick glasses, and they were just really playing off the nerdiness too strongly.
Mm-hmm.
It was too obvious.
Mm-hmm.
Too much. Michael Hall walked in and just played it like a human being. He just played it like a kid, and he was like, "That's the kid."
That's it.
But what the actors didn't know is that role is basically John Hughes. John Hughes, he was kind of the nerdy kid, so he would always kind of have Farmer Ted or someone similar play the role that was kind of him.
Yeah. And that is what opened up something new that I didn't know. And it made me really then go down, the wave of the path of Weird Science and, all others. Ducky from Pretty in Pink, so just, putting those things in perspective. It's like,
with Ferris Bueller, even with the friend in Ferris Bueller who's kind of
yes,
the time.
Yes. The one that was just didn't want to do nothing, was very freeze frame still. Yeah, that one. And then when he finally did something, it just was not what he thought. That car was gone. He just snapped. He snapped. He's like, okay, yeah, all right. So, yeah. So yeah, there's our show, man. Just wanted to come back and let you know we have it left. Just took a pause for the cause. And we wanted to come back with something, like I said, is a feel good. So if this was one of your faves or still is, or, you remember some memories as far as when you do watch it or you haven't seen it in a while and you're like, now I really need to go back and check it out, do so. And please make sure you let us know about it. You let us know what you think about the episode and the show, and, pull a moment or a favorite part of yours from this movie. Let us know what it was. We would love to hear from you. As we always say, don't be shy, just a couple of little letters, and then a thumbs up, and you can be on your way. Okay. So yeah, man, we will be back. Make sure again, like I said, you subscribe, hit the bell so you can be notified, and we'll be here for you guys. So excuse me. Amanda A, is there anything you wanted to say? Nope. Not at all. Well, we're out. We'll see you later, alligator. After a while, crocodile. That was some Prince stuff right there. That was giving me Prince vibes. He's back there behind me, with the revolution. Yes. I want an outfit like that, Prince. Oh. Okay, I'm sorry. Bye.